This caught me way off guard in the best way. Shift Up just dropped the new trailer for Stellar Blade's upcoming NIKKE DLC, and this is so much better than I first thought. They are literally bringing NIKKE into Stellar Blade. This is basically NIKKE gameplay. This completely blows the Nier Automata DLC out of the water. And that one was good. It set a standard, so I figured this expansion would be about the same level of content. But no, this one is miles above it. Doro is confirmed at the end. I know some people were wondering about that. Scarlet's entrance is pure aura. They did an amazing job with this. This is basically the ultimate Shift Up fan care package. On the DLC's description page, it said, "Put your trigger finger to the test in sci-fi shooting range minigames." And when I read that, I thought they meant it would be the same thing like they did in the Christmas update, where they had targets floating around Zion for you to shoot down, because they called that a shooting range minigame too. But no, this is 1,000 times better. I'm noticing that it's not a port of NIKKE either. This is completely remade from the ground up for Stellar Blade. These enemies and bosses that are showing up are the Nikke. Hopefully we see some Rapture cameos too. We also got our first look at the new shop that's run by the Nikke's dog, Volt. The description said that this is where we get the Nikke-themed outfits and a couple other items and cosmetics, and I'm assuming that it's this stuff that they showcased in the trailer here with the skins. The Roppy outfit with the hat and Alice holding the bunny. I'm guessing we get all of that stuff from Volt. In these trailer shots, we're interacting with him in the wasteland and the desert, so I think it's the same thing they did with Emil and the Nier Automata DLC, where he's a traveling shop and we have to get him to stop for us. We know of 6 Nikke skins that are dropping in this DLC, namely Roppy, Anise, Alice, Modernia, Dorothy, and Scarlet. I have to assume now that the Scarlet skin is a reward for defeating her boss fight, but the other 5 are likely purchased through Volt's shop. There might even be more than that, since this is all Shift Up property. They can add as many or as little as they want. Those 6 are just the ones that we saw in the last trailer, so that's what's confirmed. Scarlet is also hanging out with Volt in some of these shots, and the meeting with her looks friendly, so I get the sense that she's not playing a villain role or anything here. She's probably just a fellow swordsman who happens to meet Eve, and they decide to have a sparring match. Her introduction in this trailer was really good too, man. She's so cute. Look at her. The boss fight's looking crazy. She's actually blocking and parrying Eve here. Normally, we're the ones parrying the enemy, but it seems the turns have tabled. I'm seeing a lot of AoE attacks and big moves that we have to dodge. Yeah, this fight looks intense. I can't decide if this or the Mon fight is better. Probably this one, let's be real. The description on the DLC page said that if we beat her, we get to claim a new costume, a new hairstyle, and a new song as a reward. That's why I'm guessing the costume and hairstyle is the Scarlet look, and the song is likely a music track from NIKKE. The only thing that wasn't shown in the trailer that we know we're getting in the DLC is some other Nikke-themed collectible items that we obtain through fishing. Some of those earlier items, like Roppy's hat and Anise's can, they could be some of those collectibles, or maybe it has something to do with Doro. I mean, I cannot believe they actually did this. Players thought that it might be a thing because of Dorothy's skin being in the DLC, and yeah, the meme is a reality. What a time to be alive. I love you, Yoko Taro, but this DLC is looking so much better than the Nier Automata one. The NIKKE expansion is only part of the big update dropping on June 11. In that update, we're getting 25 more new outfits on top of the NIKKE skins from the DLC, so there's even more new looks for Eve. Then there's also the boss fight coming in that update. It's crazy that over a year after this game launched, it feels like the hype is just now building up. I mean, Shift Up really put into perspective how much attention and care they're giving this game. It's a single-player game. It's not really a live service, but during an investors meeting, they showed off this chart that showed the history of all the updates that they've provided for Stellar Blade, and it's actually really impressive. They've had an update at least once every 2 months. They've skipped a couple of months, like there was nothing in August and there was nothing in October, but nearly every other month had some kind of an update, whether it was just a couple of skins or whether it was the summer seasonal update. They've really been showing this game a lot of love. And yeah, they just also casually dropped in the fact that the Stellar Blade sequel is in the works, and we should probably expect it before 2027. No announcement, no nothing, just casually sliding this in there, like, oh yeah, by the way, Stellar Blade 2's on the way. This doesn't really confirm that the sequel is going to be dropping in 2026 or anytime before 2027. It's just the fact that that's how they showed it on the chart here. The other project in the 2027 panel, Project Witches, is something that they've had in the works for a little bit now, and I would have expected that to drop before Stellar Blade 2, but I think they're really trying to capitalize on the hype of Stellar Blade's PC release and really ride that wave. I'm not complaining. I was eager to see what Project Witches was about, but if they put more focus into the Stellar Blade franchise and really expand this IP first, that's a good thing in my book. I have to believe that the April Fool's joke they were playing on X, where Raven took over the X account, I have to believe that that is a hint that they're going to do some kind of Raven material in the future. They know that she's a fan favorite, and they know just how popular she's become. The sequel could be about her. And I would even speculate that it could be a prequel story about Raven, but they specifically said in that chart sequel, so I don't think it's going to take place before Stellar Blade. This will probably be Stellar Blade 2, and if it does have Raven in it, all the better. Stellar Blade has really set itself apart from the rest of the action RPG space by embracing that dress-up doll simulator aspect while still having extremely polished gameplay and thrilling combat. It's not quite hard enough to be considered a Souls-like, even though a lot of the mechanics like the parries and perfect dodges are lifted right out of the FromSoft catalog, but this is definitely more of an action RPG hack and slash rather than a Souls game, and I think that actually does itself a lot of favors. I love Souls games, but they're not always the most accessible because of the learning curve. Stellar is just casual enough to pick up and start playing, but deep enough to keep you invested. I would put Stellar Blade in the same category as Black Myth Wukong, as kind of a bridge game between your standard action RPG hack and slash and the Souls games. Because even Black Myth Wukong, I wouldn't call that a Souls game. That's definitely a hack and slash action RPG too, but it's a lot more thoughtful with the combat, and Stellar Blade is the same way, even though they're not true Souls games. They're like a stepping stone. Like if you're trying to get into the Souls genre, I think Stellar Blade and Black Myth Wukong are perfect starting points. They get you into that groove of thoughtful combat where you're timing your inputs just right. Perfect parries, perfect dodges, memorizing attack patterns, stuff like that. This is one of my feel-good games. Every time I play it, I'm just in a good mood. Win or lose, it doesn't matter if I'm getting my ass kicked by a really hard boss. I'm enjoying every second of it. And may my memories live on forever, because I'm probably never leaving my room after the Nikke DLC drops. Guys, I cannot wait for the June 11 update. It's about to be massive. I hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on it. That tells YouTube I'm doing a good job. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay in the loop with more Stellar Blade content, consider subscribing and getting notified. These games are keeping me busy. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Star. Stay stellar. Keep shining, baby.